Hello, my name is Professor Valdez Gant, and this will be an overview for the MyLabs Plus program for Math 1325 Business Calculus. So the first thing that we need to do is to get logged in. So to get there, we need to type in www.northlake.mylabsplus.com. And so here's the URL here. Once you're here, in order to log in, you need to type in your username and password. As a student, your username and password will be your student number or your student ID. And this is without the E in front. So if your student number is 777-9311, then you will type in 777-9311 both for the username and your password, and then hit sign in. Since my username and password is different, I'm going to type mine in now. All right, once here, you see I have a lot of courses, but the only one that you need to worry about when you log in will be Math 1325, and you'll probably see maybe one or two depending on what classes you have. Once you're in, the main areas that we're going to look at will be assignments and EText. And so in assignments, this will be where all your homework is, all the pre-tests that you have. The pre-tests are not graded, so they're optional. And it'll have all the lecture videos stored in, I would say, chronological order so that you'll know when to watch each and every one. EText is nothing more than a virtual textbook. So it's an online version of your textbook here. Here, your grades, this stands for MyMathLab grades. So here's where you can see the progress that you've done in the course. So every time you work on an assignment, every time you finish an assignment, or if you're currently working on an assignment and you're not done with it, it logs this information. This particular link here will be for temporary access. So for those of you that cannot purchase the access kit, access code kit, which would be your textbook and access code by the first day of class, you will need to use this temporary access code. If you plan on getting it within the week, I would say just wait and go to the bookstore and get your materials and then just type it in then. The reason being is once you use this particular temporary access code, you're going to have to wait until the 21-day grace period for you to be able to enter in your actual access code. Okay. All right. So first, we need to go into EText. So every time we go into MyLabs Plus, the first thing we need to do is click on the EText. The reason we need to do that is to let the system know that, hey, we have a user that is actually licensed to use this material, okay? And so for this book, you see it covers many things, but since we're doing calculus, we'll be focused on part 3, which will be, for us, chapter 10 all the way to the first few sections in chapter 14, okay? And so from here, you can view your textbook, and notice here that you have access to a video. I'm going to go on over to another page here and show you that you have access to a video as well. So
let's look at some of the basic properties of limits. In this problem, we're going to use our limit property.
And this has what was called a You Try It. And so the You Try It will look very similar to the MyMathLab homework that I'll show you a little bit later. Okay? So this is one way to get access to the textbook, videos, and just a few practice problems. All right, when we go to assignments here, this is the bulk of where your work is. And so here, to get on the first page here, you'll see that you start off with a pretest. These pretests are optional. So if you do them, what they do is weed out homework so that you won't have to be so repetitive in doing it. If you don't do it, then it just assigns all the homework to you. Okay. Here for section 10.1, we have text and videos. So you can see This would be a link to the textbook to section 10.1, and these will be videos again, so you can tell sort of by the icons this is a book, this is a little film strip here. And if you've noticed, I've already watched about 3 of these. Okay. All right, so now we go into the homework. And you see we've already done one question, so I'm going to find another question for us to do here. And let's see. Yeah, so let's do this one as a simple example. So we want to find the limit if it exists. Okay, and so for this one, this is a pretty simple one. We just plug in the 4, and so the limit of this, the limit of 3x as x approaches 4, both from the left and the right, would be 12. Okay, but let's say we make a mistake and we type in 13. Okay, you'll see that it'll tell you that you're incorrect and then try to give you a hint or two. If the hint doesn't help and you end up getting it wrong 3 consecutive times, then it'll give you what the correct answer is and show it, you know, next to your answer. And then after that, you'll see the red X here. Okay. So here you want to click on similar exercise so that you can get a different problem. Okay. And so here for this one, we just plug in the 4 in for x, and that'll be 16. And so the limit of 4x as x approaches 4 from both the left and the right will end up being 16. And we get a well done, and now our red X turns into a green check mark, letting us know that we got the problem correct. Okay, and I would suggest that you try to get all of these correct before moving on to the next section. Now, with this being said, sometimes you'll face problems where you won't really know what to do. And so in those examples, you want to use this tool called Help Me Solve This or View an Example. Okay, these are very similar. The only difference in between them is for View an Example, you just see an example of the problem worked out. For Help Me Solve This, it's a problem worked out, but it does it in steps and allows you to be interactive and answer some of the questions as you go along to try to make sure that you understand the concepts. Both of these tools are helpful, however, they can be abused. And so the one thing that we don't want to do is to, click on View an Example every time we're doing a particular problem, not necessarily learning the concept, but just sort of mimicking the steps in order to get an answer. You won't have access to these tools when doing the actual proctored exams. So you really want to just use these just to kind of get you through a problem, but make sure you take the necessary time to actually get the concepts so that you won't have to be dependent upon these tools come test time. Okay? All right. And so now we've seen the basics about the homework, about the pre-test, and the videos. We checked out EText. So now I'm going to show you the gradebook. And so again, everything that you do, and lets me see it, and you'll be able to see this too. The only thing that you may not be able to see is like the review here on some of the tests. You won't have that problem in this particular class. Now, if you're looking and you're saying, all right, well, where did all my information go here? I know I've done more than what it's showing. So what you want to do here is make sure that you're seeing everything. So here you're seeing that, hey, it's only for the past 2 weeks. So if you've been in the course for like 2 months, then you should see a whole lot more here than just what it would show for 2 weeks. So just want you to be mindful of that. Okay, so we went over assignments, EText, and the MML Gradebook. So here for temporary access, for those of you who may not have your materials by the first week of school, you want to go ahead and click on here so that you can get your access code. Now for here it says that it's no longer valid, but at the beginning of the semester you'll have a code here that you'll need to copy. And so you'll copy this, and whenever you click on any one of these two things here, then you'll need to paste in that code where it tells you, and then after that all the other stuff I've done you'll be able to do at that time. Okay. And some other things here, if you want to do extra practice problems but not necessarily have it be a part of your homework, you can go here and go to the study plan. Multimedia library is available, and it's just another media source here. So here, if you want to get to a particular chapter, this has, what is it? Multimedia textbook. It has the PowerPoint slides and lecture videos. So these are all the media that are available for this book. So if you want to see everything that it has available all at one time, then let's say for section 10.2, you want to come in and list everything. And so this is another way to get to the information that you need as well. Okay. And so here, this has other little supplements and things that you can do by chapter. But again, the main thing here is you want to go into assignments, EText, your gradebook to see what you're doing, and temporary access if you do not have your materials by the end of the first week of class. Okay? And the last thing I want to talk about here is to get you familiar with these icons down here. So the ones you'll be using the most is the house and the key. And so what the house does is get you out of this particular course. So clicking on the house will get you back to this page here. Okay? So it doesn't log you out, it just gets you out of this course. So for me as an instructor, I'm here and I have all these courses to get into, so I can jump from one course to the other. Okay. However, if you just have one course, then just jumping out of here just gets you out and you can go back in. This key here is to log you out. So when you do this, this will actually log you out of MyLabs Plus altogether, and it returns you back to this page. And with that, this is the conclusion of the overview for MyLabs Plus for Math 1325 Business Calculus.